Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Action Figure-Atorium. I'm your host, Mark Major, and today I'll be photographing this Kodak Hot Wheels race car, and of course, this Kodak race car. That is all coming up on today's show right about now. And a return to greatness. Hi everyone, it is Friday here in Chilwaukee, Oregon. I'm Mark. This is the show where I do photography of toys, and today is no different. We're going to do some of these Hot Wheels cars. This is a branded Kodak Monte Carlo. The hood flips open on this dog, but not this dog. And these are 1/64th scale, by the way. That's what they refer to Hot Wheels cars as. This is a 1/24th scale version of the car. The hood does not flip open, and it is slightly different graphics in terms of exactly matching the vehicles. For instance, there's no like stickerage here on the back, whereas here it's on the trunk, etc. Minor details. And there's this car as well. This is a 1/18th scale, and something unusual happened with this. I got this at a thrift store. I get most of my stuff at a thrift store, but I got this at a thrift store, and it had a sticker on the hood, and the sticker had a little bit of adhesiveness. So I took my Goo Gone, and I gently rubbed it into the adhesiveness. I left it there. When I came back, it had actually ended up, well, when I wiped it down with a cloth, it removed the paint from the top of the car hood. You'll notice that this one does open. So you can see where it used to say Kodak film, and I'm not sure if I should try to restore this or if I should, like find another hood or replace the car, or maybe make a custom decal, or maybe I should trick this out into some sort of apocalyptic vehicle. Look, here's another sticker on the back. Paid $3 for this, as is toys. It's a little beat up. So what we're going to be doing today in the studio where I'm at here is we're going to be putting these guys on the spinner, on the Lazy Susan. That is this device right here. We've got one of these. It's electric, and we're going to rotate these cars, and we're going to be shooting. Let me fix the mic here. We're going to be filming a little promotional video for the studio, because we need to be putting out kind of cool content. So, as always, this is a multicam show with this camera right there, and of course there is a cool tabletop cam in MTV black and white that I will cut to on occasion when we feel that we need a little more, fly on the wall, fly on the table. Look at all these cars. Are you guys excited by this? Okay. Don't answer. I swear. Yeah, there we go. The hood does come open on that. And the hood come open on that. And this. We got a lot of open hoods, but not this one. So, this one I just took out of the package, by the way. Brand new. Now, I also like to do a... let me turn it on. I like to do a subject cam. There it is. This is the subject cam. The subject cam looks like it's in black and white too, but it's not. I'm just on a white cyc. So there you can see. There you can see our camera. Now in the background is the set from Monday. If you missed that show, I filmed a Safari Limited Griffin. Beautiful paint job on the toy, despite the fact that it doesn't actually have any moving parts. It's not articulated, as they say, which is okay. And it looked kind of dumb just taking photos of it, but once I put it on the marble tabletop, right, with the you know, those dogs, pillars, kind of sprang to life. Kind of looked kind of cool. So let's just strike this stuff, and let's throw this over here on the floor. And there is a spot where the pillars live. I suppose we could cut back to fly on the wall cam, studio cam 2, as it's labeled. A lot of people want to see sort of how you do stuff, and that includes watching people walk around and stumble around their studio looking for things that are probably in their hand. All right, so what we're going to do is, and I've got quite a bit of carriage to choose from today. This hood isn't on particularly great from what I can tell. This one is brand new. This one is a little beat. These things vary very slightly. For example, now let's cut back to this. So for example, on this one, the wheels say Goodyear and they're just black with yellow writing. On this one, they say Goodyear Eagle and they've got like little red rims. Also the sticker placement, slightly different. Actually, this one has a little elongated front end. Both Monte Carlos, pretty close to similar. A little more detail on this one, a little black. This one's missing the back there. I don't know, maybe I don't need to replace the Kodak on the top of the hood. Maybe I just leave these as is. Maybe I just have maybe I should collect more of these. I did see on eBay a 144th scale version. And this tiny little version, and it actually comes with a semi-truck. It's just about 20 bucks though with shipping, and until like, you know, I get a ton of subs, there is really no vanity purchases of stuff like that. We're going to have to make do with what we got. So, let's see, I think what we're going to do is, I think we're going to start with this one. And you guys probably, here, let's go to this cam so you can see some more action. Look at that. This has got to be one of the best shows on Twitch right now. I mean, there's a lot of good shows out there. I particularly enjoy good shows, and I think that this could easily be one of them. Well, look at our rotating car. Now, I do have a sort of fascination with Gaslands cars. I love making them, and I've made a few, and I'm going to make more. And I have some Gaslands Cars videos that I'm going to be putting up, sort of how you make a Gaslands car, etc. And I can't wait to bring more in. So let us begin by first, and we'll switch back to Studio Cam 2, Studio Cam 2 as it's called. And we're going to start by sort of framing up the subject. And decide if we're going to do straight on shot. And I also need to set my white balance. That is the shutter speed. I was told by a friend that you should do your shutter speed at essentially twice what your frame rate is. So if you're shooting 30 frames per second, set your shutter speed to 60. And I did that for a while. And my photos were kind of dark, despite having copious amounts of light. And when I went to different shutter speed, all of a sudden I could get more light and have to not have to gain up as much and ISO up and overexpose. So I think it's time that we switch to subject cam. And you guys are just enjoying really what I feel is like the best show on the internet right this second. In an hour, yeah, there might be a better show than this one that comes on. But maybe I'll be done by then. All right, this is the best part, where people learn what blurry to non-blurry is. Look at this. Are you guys stoked by this? If you're not stoked by it, there's not much more I can do. We are shooting with the Panasonic today. I know I always shoot with the Panasonic, even though I've got another camera I can use, and I kind of like the other camera as well, but the other camera has a fantastic lens that I can adapt to this camera, and sometimes I just throw that lens on. It's a Canon lens. It's a 100 millimeter, a long lens as they call it. Focus, not focused. We want to see the Kodak. So why am I doing this with the Kodak car? Well, Kodak is a symbol of photography in the old world, the analog world. They didn't survive the jump to digital, despite the fact that they owned a bunch of patents and had a bunch of smart people who worked for them and did a lot of work in general with digital. But their cash cow was selling film and developing film. And there's this thing about what's called a burning platform in business. And a burning platform is when your product is on its way to extinction, and it's just a matter of time. It's like a platform that's burning and you have to jump off of it at some point. And so once you start going down the road to digital, you can see that analog film is going to go away, except for niche collectors and specialists and those into, sort of weird things. And that's what film is going to turn into, Like there's hardly any place to get it developed. Same thing with recording and analog tape, reel-to-reel tape. There is, as far as I know, I think one manufacturer left of analog reel-to-reel tape. I think it's a Norwegian company. I don't know. I've been wrong about all this. Oh, I have to say that this is a bit premature. I have not set any key lights, if you know what I mean. So what I'm going to do is roll these hunks of shit out, as these things are not necessarily photo lights. They have a bit of a strobing effect. They're an experimental thing that we made here at the studio to just get some more smaller lights for things like this. But there is a rule of photography I've adopted called more light equals less blurry. So the more light you pump on something, the less blurry it is, and the more you can, a little bit of a dent on this one, the more you can gain down, ISO down, set your aperture higher, right? You don't have to go really low to a low light setting on the lens, and it starts to just kind of look overall crispier. Now I've only got it coming in on one side, so we're gonna have to add a second light. And if you see me walking around grabbing more lights, it's because we need a second light. And I will mirror the location of the first light, except on the other side. So we're coming at 245s. I do have a giant light behind me that I use to light me for the show. It is, of course, bleeding into the shot. Sometimes I turn it off. I do not mind that it is on, though. I also have an overhead work light in the studio in addition to the lights that I have in the ceiling. Here, I'll give you guys a little rundown of this. This is the tabletop cam, so I'm going to tilt up, and you can see there's a softbox there mounted in the ceiling, and I'm going to go all the way, and there's a second one, and there's my work light, tilting back down to the subject. Okay, let me pan this way. There's the camera. You can see a light right there that's on the subject, and there's a light back there that is on me. Back to the subject. It's fun to give people a, you know, a groovy little tour of the studio lighting setup, in case people are wondering. Now, this is just set up for essentially what is product photography. A lot of people who shoot action figures really get into interesting light setups, interesting colored lights and placement of lights and overhead lights. And at some point I'm going to be sharing my favorite guys on Instagram with you, and we'll talk about the stuff they're doing, the techniques. And I'm not really doing that kind of stuff. What I do right now, until I start bringing in more sets and dioramas into the show, what I do is basically you would call product photography. Like when you see an ad of something on, like, say, Facebook or Instagram, and it's a bottle of shampoo and it's just on a white background, that kind of stuff. Real sort of meat and potato, nuts and bolts. You know, how to make something just look really clean and presentable. All right, so this is shiny. And I'm going to cut back to the subject cam for you guys because everybody loves subject cam. Look at that. Man, you guys are getting the best show on the internet. All right, so what's wrong with this, in my opinion, is that I kind of want to see the top of the car. That means I kind of want to crank up and then tilt down. So let's go up a bit and let's tilt down. And I kind of don't want the lip of the Lazy Susan, to be honest with you. I know some people are into that. ISO, not shutter speed. ISO. All right, 500, 640, 800, 1000. Now the little screen that I'm looking at on the camera looks a little different than what you might see on your phone or computer monitor. Man, I really like the shot of the car. I wish it just wasn't so... didn't have that one thing of glare as it comes around. All right, I don't really want to go to an ISO of 3200. Let's adjust the white balance a bit. Ugh, terrible. All right, supposedly that's daylight. I thought daylight was like 50 something, 5200K or so. I don't know. Maybe there's a custom one that we can work with. All right, let's take it up to 66, 100K. That looks weird. Let's go 58. Yeah, I really need like a little meter on my phone. You would think I would have gotten to that already, but as soon as you start doing that stuff, you get tired quick. And you can see how a person will just phone it in, because when you take this stuff into your editor, you can really sort of fix the white balance and the colorization a lot in your LUTs lookup table, as it were. All right, am I centered? That is the question. All right, so when this car comes around here, let's stop it. And let's put it, make sure it's in the center. Let's fix our lights. I think we should go up and tilt down. You guys have been looking at this shot for a long time. I'm just going to alternate to something different. Actually, let's do this shot. How about that? You guys cool with that? Looking at the chat, no one cares. All right. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chatters. You guys are all incredibly chatty. All you toy photography fiends out there looking for a good time. Yeah, should we go way up on these lights? That is the question. How about if they're equal height? I almost feel like I need a backlight on this. Should I go get a backlight? Internet? Should I go step out and get a backlight? I might have to put on the intermission music for a minute. I don't want to freak anybody out. Alright, maybe we need to go back to this shot. Alright, so I'm going to physically move the tripod so that this is as close to center as I can get. I'll back away the light so as I get less shadow. Less detectable shadow. I mean, shadow will always be there. I'm using the native lens on the Panasonic. It's a Lumix lens. It's a Lumix Panasonic camera. It's micro thirds. Let's just make this blurry. See what blurry looks like. Looks terrible. Let's go the other way. Alright, I feel like it's not really center. And does anybody want to go up even more? And tilt down even more? How much tilting could there be? Alright, let's fire this up and just see what it looks like spinning around. Look at that. That is a car that is made to be a car. That's pretty exciting looking. I wish these were a bit more dimmable. Alright, so I need to change my aperture now, and then my ISO. And thank you. And where is that? Shutter speed, ISO. I don't know. Looks okay on my little mini screen. I feel like maybe I should bring in another monitor or something, but then I have to split it so that you guys can still see the subject cam. But it looks real nice until it gets those little glare angles, like right. So I don't mind the glare there, and it's coming around, and right about there, right before it hits the sort of 45-degree angle to the light itself, not the camera. But the windows on it aren't glaring, which is nice. I have dulling spray. I could actually I could spray the car, but then it becomes, you know, it becomes weird and sticky. All right, so here's the thing. What I want to do is I want to shoot this, but I also want to pop in a miniature version of it, or the big version of it. And that's going to mean backing the shot up. And that. Oh, you can do it. Kind of hangs off, doesn't it? Yeah, focused. So this is the 1/24th scale. This is the 1/64th scale. I don't know, I think I'm going to do a bunch of different videos of being pushed in and see what we can do about swapping them. Alright, so people of the internet. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with the settings on the camera for a little bit. Got it on manual focus. MP4, 1080, 30 frames per second. Exposure mode. Let's go to manual. Frame rate. I don't know what that does. Maybe I need to look at the manual on this. Maroon, eye dynamic. Resolution is high. All right, I think we're good. All right, here we go. Now I have control over my exposure again. Set to manual, and it was bumming me out. So let us return to subject cam, people. Do my best to bring this up. It's hard to imagine that this could actually be a show. People would stop in, see what I'm doing, and then instantly leave when they realize that there is no gaming here. It's also a chance to drink some water, look at the chat, answer questions in chat. Yeah, so let's see here. All right, how's that one? Looks a little blown out on the computer monitor. On the little mini screen I'm looking at, seems okay. Let's go to 9.0. And all right. Man, it is so difficult to get this thing to just be perfectly centered. And doing these spinner videos is not particularly easy. For different reasons. None of these reasons I'm going to tell you now. Anyways, let's just at some point roll tape. We have not been rolling tape until now. This is what rolling tape looks like. It looks like this. It looks like this one car going around with not much happening. I feel like the car is, hold on, I'm going to cut tape. I feel like the car is slightly off. Man, I really need some markers on the turntable to tell me if this thing is on the right axis or not. I'm eyeballing it, and when you eyeball stuff, like I need a square or something. All right, let's see what this looks like. There we go. Going the other way. That's just it, is every time you turn this thing off and on, it goes a different direction. I'm kind of a fan of going this way. All right, here we go. Rolling tape. World's worst car video.com. I can tell by the chat that people are excited. Don't blame me for the excitement. I don't blame anyone for having to change the channel because you think you might be in danger of having a heart attack from the excitement level here. And you know, back it down a bit, people. It's not a full-size car. It's like a Hot Wheels. And you know, it probably handled pretty good too. It probably took corners really well. You know, this is who you want delivering your food from Grubhub these days, if you can even get food anymore. At some point, we're going to all be on the barter system. There's a good chance we'll be trading gold teeth for bullets, and I hope that the next generation of civilization accepts small-scale Kodak Monte Carlo race cars. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that there's a future in bartering with these cars, because this is what I got, folks. This is, you're looking at it, this is what I own right here. Spinning cars. Okay, I think we've gotten a lot of this dog. He's been spinning for 1:48. If you ask me, that's easily 1:20 too long. Well, we'll let it go a bit, because who knows, I might change the speed. In fact, yes, let's do this. I'm cutting film, and I'm going to go to I'm going to go to 60 frames per second. I don't know if you guys can hear the train through the microphone. There's a train coming. There's also some drinking from a red cup happening off screen. Hello to users in the chat. Welcome. Having a great time here in the Stewed, shooting at 60 frames per second. We're going to go a full minute on this. And in case you didn't know what's going on, we are in the video studio, photography studio on the tabletop psych. There's a couple of lights, a camera, Lazy Susan. I'm mic'd up, I'm wandering around. I'm cutting tape. Let's take this car off. Let's throw this car on. Oh, digital zoom, nobody likes you. Digital zoom. Nobody likes you. Let's just, at 60 frames a second, let's roll tape on this thing. And if you think it looks out of focus, you might be right. I did focus it up, but I don't know. Here, let me swap to subject cam. There you go. That's the big dog. That is the 1/24th. The 1/18th is standing by, waiting to go in. Waiting to go. This is, let's cut tape for a second. Let's see if we can straighten up our shot. I feel like I'm to blame. All right, here we go. Rolling tape. Kodak cars spinning, all sizes, 60 frames a second. Slightly overlit, a little bit of glare on it as it goes around. Normally, I would spend some time with the flags. I would try to flag that out or create a light bounce to bounce the light onto it to remove the direct light to get rid of all that glare. But I feel that it gives the car a bit of showroom look to it to have a little bit of glare on it. And also with the amount of people that see these videos I make, that, there's not enough people there for me to really care. You know, if this was like a corporate gig and I was working for Kodak and I had to turn this in, I'd spend probably half a day futzing with the lights, futzing with filters, futzing with it. But when you do action figuratorium, you just put stuff up and you go. So let's cut film. And what I want to do is I want to go back and go back down to that was 1920. I want to go back to 30 frames a second and just get some versions like that. All right, so we're rolling tape again on this guy. It does on the screen look a little blown out and a little green. It looks pretty good though on the camera monitor. All these things can be slightly tweaked. With your editing software, you just have to get close. And in fact, in some occasions, you don't even really use the film directly or the image, the video directly as it comes off the camera. You might put filters and effects on it. And so a lot of these things that I'm complaining about may not ever make it to the final product. Also, as I stated, that the audience is very small. I don't have a lot of followers. I'm not doing a corporate product for the masses. And so because of that, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the little tiny details. I just want to capture an idea, that of a rotating car made by Kodak. All right, so let's cut filming on that, and it is time for the monster dog to come out, the one that I accidentally destroyed. Rolling film, accidentally destroyed the graphics on the hood. Oh God, the wheels, oh geez. Hold on, I'm cutting tape. Let me take a moment to plug the show and tell you guys to go to, all right, there it is above me, Figure-Atorium on Instagram and Figure-Atorium on my Twitter account. And also I'm streaming right now live on the Twitch Action Figure-Atorium. Please follow if you can. If you drop by, I would love to have followers. It is the path to making money with this in a very benign way. All right, we're gonna have to back out and refocus. You can also catch all my episodes plus the actual what the video is going to become on my YouTube channel. That is where I archive everything, and I'm happy to do so. You know, we're going to have to get a bigger lazy... I have a bigger Lazy Susan. It runs on a... We built it ourselves. It runs on a microwave motor, and it just never really quite worked right. It was a little lumpy and rolly and all that kind of stuff. All right, let's just roll tape on this, even though you can see the Lazy Susan there. All right, let's switch over. Also, it's a little bit, yeah, it's a tilt down. Car actually gets a little bit out of frame. All right, rolling still. Kind of bummed about the hood. Maybe one day it will fix itself. Could be wrong about that. I don't know. I feel like it's, hold on, let's cut tape. I feel like we could, go, well, I guess I didn't cut tape. I feel like we could go to a different exposure on this. It still seems a little bright. Here, now I'm going to cut tape. Or it also feels like the ISO, you know, you try and get it, God, that's 200, 320, it was on 400. $640. I don't know. I'm just gonna, what I'd like to do is I like to just gently tweak the lighting, and when you look at the stuff later, you'll see, oh, okay, video 1 and 2 didn't work, but videos 3 and 5 worked. You know, and you get, so that way you're not stuck with terrible settings. But I gotta say, the big giant car isn't as fun as the smaller car on the Lazy Susan. But I'll give it a shot. I may just use a snippet of this as it's going around. Oh, Monte Carlo. All right. Oh, there's this other. So I've got 2 of these, by the way, and I think we're going to try this one. I think we're going to use this for this shot, and I'm going to stick with this lens. It's got a digital zoom on it. Let's rotate this so I don't take it out of frame. If you guys have questions in the chat room, you are allowed to ask them. The answers could be very boring, though. You've been warned. Oh, look at that. The Kodakians hopefully will appreciate this. Okay. Let's just roll tape on this. While we roll tape, drink some water. Greet the fans. talk mad trash. All right, plenty of people in the chat room as we rotate cars. Again, I like a little bit of the glare as it gives it a little bit of showroom feel to it. And I think what's cool about this is that it's got the little black spoiler on it, and the next scale up, the 1/24th scale, has a black spoiler on it. Oh, look at that. It just barely clears the bottom of the screen. So as it comes around, I'm going to cut tape. I'm going to throw my other car on here. Look at that. You can see the logos right on it. All right, let's just roll tape. 30 frames a second. It can be sped up, slowed down. I can remove stills from it to get it to look a little certain way, how fast it rotates. There's control of that in post. We'll let it do a couple of rotations at this camera setup. And I think while it's spinning, flip that. See if I can get this and drop this car in. And you don't even notice a difference, do you, folks? You think it's the same car. You're that blown away. Let's make sure that we're in focus, though. Oh, blurry vision. That seems about there. All right, let's roll tape. A lot of just randomly rotating cars. It's a good time for the people who drive Monte Carlos to come out of the woodwork and claim their independence from America. This is what we've been waiting for. All right, so I like this shot. Let's keep going with this kind of swamp back and forth between the two vehicles. Again, the hood does not open on this one, but it opens on the little one, and it opens on the even bigger one. The tires are a little dark. Let me cut film. Let's break up the monotony of the show by going to a little different camera. You know, we haven't seen this camera in a while. Look at that. What do you guys think of that? Are you excited by that? No, you're not, clearly. Clearly do not care. That angle, however, makes it look like the car's going to fall off. Maybe it is. Maybe that's what happens. Cars fall off. All right. Let's move that camera over here. Let's take this light and let's do some direct side light. That's a thing. Let's frame this up. I need to start making like some type of a plate that goes on top of this. All right. We have got a lot more drastic lighting and a lot more glare, but the tires look a little better. Some little darker areas like this black spoiler looks a little better. The glare going around is not terrible. It actually makes it look like the car is kind of electric. So we'll let this dog rotate one time around. And you just do not get to see fantastic looking shows elsewhere on the internet. This is the height of excitement, people. This is what they talk about when they talk about exciting times. All right, let's get that the hell out of there. Let's throw this back in. Look at that. I'll never even know that someone swapped it once I cut out the part with my hand. Still rolling as the car sweeps around. Again, not exactly sure how these are going to turn out, how I'm going to use them, which ones are going to work, which ones are not going to work. We're just doing a bunch of setups with lighting angles and camera angles and slightly tweaking the exposure as we go, that sort of thing. The battery is closing in on dying, which is not a problem. There are, in fact, more batteries and a charger right around the corner. No one need ever freak out or scream. But we're going to go until the battery finally dies. Actually, let's just change it out now. And take a minute to say that you are watching Action Figure-Atorium. I'm Mark. I'm in Milwaukee, Oregon. I am currently filming Kodak race cars with a Panasonic GH3. Here's an older camera. Got a wide-angle lens. I have it set about 20 millimeters or so. I have other lenses we could use. Macros. Don't feel that those are necessary for this. Alright, so we're going to punch in a little. You know what we should do? We should just try and get like a really sweet looking shot of the car. Alright, going back to subject cam. Alright, this is what we're looking at. ISO up, ISO down, ISO up, ISO down. You can see I'm switching the ISO. It's getting darker and darker. Alright, that's 22. That is the end of that glass. Let's go to 10. Line this up. this up. You know what? Someone out there is probably shouting, go higher, tilt down, push in. No, actually, let's spin it first and see. Oh, go in that direction, eh? I think you have to leave it on for 5 seconds before you can get it to go the other way. Since I might be matching these post-production, let's have them all go the same way for now. Alright, so I'm going to try and push in as close as I can. Oops, that was the focus. Alright, I'm at the end of the glass. Here we go. I'm just going to roll film. I think since I'm filming at 30 frames per second, I think I might make a video where I put it into a 60 frames per second slot so it's sped up a little bit, and maybe try to match it to some music I've picked out, which is this kind of upbeat electronica piece from an old Quake Team Fortress custom mega server that had their own cool intro music. Managed to find a copy. We'll see the results at some point, but there we have it, folks. Maximum car. And it's a good time to charge the old battery. We have been streaming now for an hour 12. It is currently on the west coast here, 2:15. We're in Milwaukee, Oregon. We're at a location called Island Station Media Lab. I'm on the B studio. A studio's in the other room. We'll tour that one day. Anyways, just trying to give shout outs to people popping in who want to see what the facility looks like. It's a large tabletop site. It's about 12 feet wide. It's currently white. It's extremely potent to video or film in here. There's a lot of white. I do have a lot of black sound absorbers on the walls. These do help, but it's pretty chaotic and crazy. Here's a tabletop fly on the wall cam. Those that want to see nothing but action on the ground floor. You know, while we're at this thing's been going a while. While we're at this, let's cut tape. There's like 2 minutes of the same car spinning. Look at this guy. What do you guys think of this guy? We did a little cold open with him. Let's. Hold on. Stop moving. All right, now cooking with the bacons. All right, here goes. Guys, you are looking at a new era of things you can put on Twitch right here. A lot of people playing games. Good guys playing games. But this This is way better. All right. Too much of that already. How about this? How about this? Back-to-back Monte Carlos. Huh? Am I hearing any excitement level for this? Let's just roll film on this. What do you guys care? I got 2 of them, right? I don't even know where one came from. The other one I think I paid $3 for. New in the box. Comes with a little presentation package. This is entertainment, what you're getting right now. Yeah, just picture the 2 drivers pulling up to each other and then arguing, having a fight, and having it all caught on film. Kodak film. I think that's maybe the gag, or not. 4.4. Maybe I can give this to my friend DK44 on SoundCloud. Stephen Crawford. He could use some promo. Give him the 44s. Alright. Let's cut. And then I think we're done with the rotator. I think what we're going to do now is we're just going to do some blank white screen, sorry. We're going to do some stills now. And nothing special. Bring some lights in. Off frame for a little bit there. Here, we'll go back to subject cam for the folks. All right, so some of these are in focus. You gotta pick which one you're into. So you guys think I should do all 4 cars or 3 cars? Everybody's got a little black fin. I don't know, if you guys see something that you think looks cool, shout it out. Anything that does not look cool, also shout it out. If you feel focus could be better, let me know. Always here to help. Let's do a little bit of this. Whoa. All right. Hold on. We gotta 2 things moving at once. A little bit of craning. Weird art shots. Let's get down to ground level. Yeah. Ridiculous. adjust the lights. Silly cam. And maybe I could, how far can I push in? Also, these guys need to be close. All right. What does everyone think of this? Ridiculous or ridiculous? Nothing but car. All right, so this car is a little out of focus. This car is not. Let's just keep going with these terrible ideas again. When you look at them later, you'll know if they're working or not. Some people say, yeah, see this. And let's see if I can focus the little dog. All right, little dog in focus. Go in a bit. Is this the one of these has to get submitted to whoever owns the Kodak brand, and they need to realize that they've got fantastic opportunity for some generic eye candy, i.e. these pics. Look at that. Have you ever seen anything as dumb as that? Okay, so what I don't like about this is that you can't see the fore of the big car. And focus up. And too much glare on here. So let's remove that glare. Oh man, do I have a bounce here? Jeez. May have to go get one. Well, we've got 5 minutes left in today's episode, and some people would say that we've gone too far. All right, so I'm going to see if I can back the back the glare down. Again, it's the kind of thing that you can fix some of it in post. In theory. Try and do as much in camera as I can so I don't have to crop it later. Nobody likes cropping of this nature. And there we go. Let's see here. Let's do a little bit of this. Oh, look at that. Oh, wait a minute. You can start to see the sign. All right. And on even further. All right, guys. What do you think of this? Still too much. I'm gonna try a little something different with this lighting scheme here. Now, all right, that, and then I think we need to let's focus up the one in the foreground. That's the one. Yeah, look at that. People at Kodak are going to be stunned. Give these guys a little more. I'm going to just pump some light near this. I have to get some, to make some fruity bounces, I think, for doing shiny things. It's all learning how to figure out how to work the stud, though. In fact, what we could do is do a push in on this one. I think it's still in focus. Always good to check. Oh, there we go. Just needed a bump. Keep the other ones in the background. Look at that. People, are you excited? Are you excited by Kodak race cars at this point? You probably hate them. Probably hate everything about Kodak race cars. I kind of do now. Let's get one of this side. And let's swap up for a stunt car. See that? See what I did? And drift the light up a little bit. Take some of the glare down. Oh, that's real nice looking. Oh, what else could I do? There's this kind of thing. Oh man, I have totally gone over my time limit. Alright, hold on here. Hold on, folks. Still more ideas. All it takes is backing out. and tilting up. Takes a lot of backing out and tilting up. Oh, got a little bit. Just a tad bit, just a hair out. And if I do not focus up, I will regret later when I look at these on the computer. Got some real fly shots. I'm going to bounce the light off the other car. What do you guys think of that idea? And I got just a couple more. Just a couple more. Couple more shots in me, and God, it is incredibly hot in the studio right now. If you guys are watching and you're in air-conditioned buildings, you are the Lord's. All right, so let's just do a little framing. Let's do a little focusing. And I realize that we've been on subject cam for a long time, and that can be tough on the viewer to see the same thing over and over again with nobody on the screen. There you have it. All right, so that was a lot of shots today of these cool little cars. I will, you guys see, yeah, there they are, down there. I want to thank everybody who popped into the channel today and watched. Appreciate it. Even if you just had it running in the background and you're listening to me babble about ridiculousness. However, I still appreciate it. I want everyone to follow on Twitch at the Action Figure-Atorium channel, which I'm streaming on right now, live. If you can make it to YouTube and follow me on my YouTube channel, you can just search for Action Figure-Atorium, and kind of the only one there with that name. And please follow along there. I'll be posting these videos that I took today in their finished form there. Also, if you can follow me on Instagram, Figure-Atorium. If you want to follow on Twitter, be advised, don't tweet very often, and when I do, I don't really care. But I am there for you. Oh, hello. So, again, I'd like to thank everybody who made it today, and I'll be back next week with more Action Figure-Atorium.